How does it feel to be here in Miami finally?
Oh, it feels great. Just getting to learn some of more of the rookies like Jordan, Zeke, and even some of the older guys. Just knowing what the expectation here is and trying to live up to that.
What if,
You signed this morning. What was that moment like, signing your first NFL contract?
It was real crazy just looking at all the contract and all that stuff in there. But it's surreal. Just dream come true. But it's time to work.
what have some of the vets told you about just expectations here?
Yeah, everything we're gonna do is to the highest standard. I mean, like nothing we're gonna do is, you're doing you're half doing it. So I mean, just they're trying to get me to understand that it's a standard to here and I gotta live up to it.
I'm guessing you've met Zach Sealer at this point. What communication have you had?
Well, he talked to the whole team, but just talking to us, told us tips and oh, my bad. Talking about tips, getting through a routine and finding your routine, and they're looking for players to help us win. So I want to be one of those players he's looking to count on.
You did a media interview and he was telling us how what he tells rookies is that now this is people's livelihoods. Like it's a different perspective for pro athletes. How do you take that in? As just now you got to step it up another level from what you up to college.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's a different because my thinking in college, my coach in college taught me to think about everybody else's sacrifices and my teammates, what his mom did to get here. So it's the same way. I know Zach want to feed his kids, his wife, his whole family and things like that. So he's got to be able to count on me and trust me, and I want to do that.
Are you a guy who wants to live on the beach, near the beach, or not at all near the beach?
Yeah, probably not at all near the beach, far from the facility.
The defensive line has an opportunity to be one of the strongest units on the team. What will that take?
I mean, we got to set the standard. We got to set the tone every day, every day in practice, every game, whatever it is. We're the tone setters. We got to, come out and show everybody what we're about.
What do you think about the other D-line rookies, Jordan and Zeke?
Yeah, they're excited. They're excited to work. Always learning. We talk to each other a lot because we come from all different paths of life. So we're trying right now to just be on all one accord and speak the same language on the field.
In the last couple of weeks, have you had like a wow moment where you're like, I can't believe I'm an NFL player?
Yeah, I mean, just coming out here looking at the stadium, like, wow, I get to practice here and do all the things here. But I mean, in my mind, it's just all about work. It can't really be caught in that wow phase.
I think it was Bill Parcells who said that you can tell what kind of dog you got when you're a puppy because the puppies bite.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a mindset that you want to bite people early, or are you going to kind of ease your way into this thing?
Yeah, I'm gonna for sure step my foot down and show people what I'm about. But what Coach McDaniel was talking about. It's the right way to practice and it's the right way to do things to not get each other hurt and stuff like that. So it plays hand in hand.
Kenneth, how will you prepare yourself mentally and physically, obviously from college now to the NFL, getting ready for a 17-game schedule?
Yeah, mentally, just learning from all the older guys and things like that. But physically, these practices are hard, but they're not as hard as college. Guys training in college and hurting yourselves in practice. But these practices is more about fast pace and things like that. So I mean, just always staying in condition and being ready to play.
I'm sure Michigan has awesome facilities, but what's something that you've seen here, one or two things that you're like, oh wow, that's pretty darn cool?
Definitely their hot tub and their cold tub rooms. Those are pretty cool. It's pretty low. Get to really chill out and things like that.
Will you use the team barber shop?
Probably, yeah.
It's pretty popular.
Oh yeah, I saw one dude getting cut today. Pretty cool.
The defensive line was one of the stronger positions at Michigan. What were some of the things that you did there that you believe can translate here?
Just being myself, playing to my strengths, not playing to my weaknesses. They brought me in here because they saw something in my game that, can translate to the NFL and to this team and very useful for this team. So whatever coach wants me to do, I'm going to do it to, and be myself.
Did they already give you a paper or digital playbook? Or not yet?
We're kind of doing that right now, going through the plays and things like that, learning the playbook slowly, but
What's your everybody has their preferred learning method.
Mm-hmm.
What's yours?
I mean, I learn all type of ways, you know, whatever, walk through, or you could draw it up on the board and give me a visual example. So, you know, I'm pretty good both ways.
It's been a while since this team has won a playoff game, and I know fans are eager to see the Dolphins kind of take that next step. How do you feel you'll handle kind of the pressure of coming in and immediately performing and making a difference?
Yeah, I mean, there's always pressure and things like that, but, you know, I think me personally, I'm a culture changer. You know, I could change, you know, winning cultures. I come from a winning culture, so I know what a playoff run is like. But obviously in the NFL is different. But still, you know, I kind of know what that's like. But going through an 18-week season, you know, that plays a toll. But, you know, just trying to, you know, learn all the tips and tricks that the older guys, you know, tell me.
Is today the first time you put on the number 90 aqua jersey?
Yes.
So tell me about that moment. Were you looking in the mirror? What were you thinking about your choice?
I liked it. 90 was a good number. I saw the name on the back. I mean, I really didn't think too much about it. Just put it on and came out here on the field.
You talked a lot about being a culture changer. What's your, I guess, immediate reaction, or what have you noticed about the Dolphins culture?
They're very intentional with what they do. You know, very detailed, and they want everything right. You know, if it's not right, 100%, then you got to come back and do the rep or the learning tip or whatever it is.
Anthony Weaver and Austin Clark have great track records of developing defensive linemen. There's that dude in Baltimore, Matabuke, for example. He was like, he exploded onto the scene with Weaver's help. Has either of those guys, have you had a cool moment with either of those guys yet? Did they give you a hug or tell you anything since you've seen them?
Probably not a hug, but, you know, they've given me tips and tricks, but, you know, just right now they're telling me, like, slow down. I know everything's coming fast at you, but just focus on today, you know, what you control today and, you know, defeat today.
How settled are you feeling down here in South Florida?
I feel pretty settled. I mean, right now I'm just in a building or, you know, in a hotel, but, you know, it's back to football, so.
I say you start looking for houses, you delegate that to somebody else? Or?
Yeah, I've started, but, you know, that's not really on my main focus because I'm going to be in the hotel for like 5-6 weeks or something like that. So, I mean, yeah, I got a little time, but not really.
You talked about Sealer earlier. Is there a teammate that you kind of connected up with and became early buddies with?
Yeah, I mean, some of these rookies like Jordan Phillips, Zeek Biggers, you know, I kind of knew them from the past, so just, you know, it's kind of crazy we're all on the same team right now, but, you know, continue relationship and friendship. But, yeah, I'll say I want to meet all the older guys and, you know, Chop, Jay Phil, obviously Zach, I saw him yesterday, but, you know, just want to see all those guys.
When you think about the scheme, are you planning to spend a lot of time studying the nose tackle guys like Benito Jones, or the position that Calais Campbell and Zach Sealer have played where they're more, they call it over the shoulder of a guard, right? Those are kind of the two options. You can be over the center or
the three
over
technique.
shoulder of the guard. Yeah. Have you been told, like, hey, I really want you to study this guy who plays this position?
No, coach just told me, you know, just learn everything, learn as much as I can. You know, learn even, you know, the end spots, even though I want to know what they're doing, but because it kind of entitles and plays into what I'm doing. But, you know, just learn everything for right now.
What was it like getting dressed up in Dolphins gear for the first time?
Man, this is like a dream come true, you know, just being in the league, just knowing that, you know, this is a job now for you. You know, it's not like a regular practice. You know, you're here to take someone's job. So just having that mindset and just being in this organization, being around great people, I'm just excited to get going. You know, we got practice coming up, so that's something I'm looking forward to.
We've been having this very long debate. We've seen the video. We have all kinds of theories. How do you say your name properly?
Yeah, so this is an easy way to put it. I guess when you say Hawaii, you can switch the W with a V and the H with an S. So you can say Savaiinaea and then Naya. The last 4 digits would be Naya, so Savaiinaea.
On the first name.
Savaiinaea.
Savaiinaea. Pretty good?
Yes, sir. That's good. Yeah.
Savaiinaea. We
Yeah.
all have it.
There we go.
I'm sure Arizona had some pretty good facilities, but what's something that you've noticed around here that seems kind of cool?
I'm kind of, you know, glad that, you know, I didn't take a visit here because I get to see it for the first time being here. So just, you know, the rooms, the team meeting rooms, the players' lounge, the locker room, the bathrooms itself, the training room as well. So everything about this facility is nice, you know, even the indoors, the outdoor state of the field. So everything's like.
They trim the bougainvillea every day.
No, I haven't been there yet, so yeah, it is really nice out here.
You talked about how you're excited to block for Tua. Have you seen him since?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I haven't seen him around
Any
yet. So.
conversations since?
No, I haven't spoke to him.
What is your goal for rookie minicamp?
Yeah, so obviously, we just got here. I haven't done anything yet. So obviously, I'm trying to prove myself to the vet that they can count on me. Just earning their trust, because they don't care if you're drafted or undrafted or you just got signed. They want to see you putting in that winning mentality here. We want guys that want to win here. So just being able to be a sponge and soak all the information from them, taking a look around who are my vets, looking at what they're doing, and just taking it from them. That's what really important for me. So.
Jonah, you played so many different positions. You played everything but center. Do you look at that as a benefit, or do you wish that you would have had the opportunity to settle in somewhere?
No, I look at it as just being a selfless teammate. I told the guys in Arizona that even my quarterback Noah, that wherever they want me to be at, I'm a play there for him. And there was one game he told me, I need you at left tackle because our left tackle got hurt. So I was like, all right, I'm there for left tackle. But it's good to show my versatility and just that type of teammate I am, just being selfless and putting myself before the team.
How did all those different positions you played kind of help you see the sport from different angles and be able to, understand schemes from different positions? How did that help you?
Yeah, it really is like a stagger change for me. That was big for me because, my whole career playing football, I'm used to pushing off of my left. So when I got put left side, pushing out of my right leg, it's something I'm not comfortable with. So now that, I'm trying to get used to that and just being able to push off of that right, and that's my goal, just getting used to that.
I was reading some stuff about your time at Arizona. One, you chose to go there because you wanted to help flip the program.
Yes.
And then also stayed your last year because you wanted to stay true to your commitment. I'm curious where that mindset comes from to be kind of so involved with a program like not a big-time college football program.
And that's just, how I got brought up, just being loyal to my family. And when I got to Arizona, that group of guys that I came in with, the class of 22, those were my brothers, So when it came to my junior year, when Coach Fish left, I didn't want to leave what we started building. So that played a big factor on why I wanted to stay, was just to be with my brothers and the guys I started my career with.
Jonah, has there been a moment last couple of days where it hit you that you're an NFL player now?
Oh, yeah. Right when I landed here in Miami, the drive, the airport to here, it was like traffic already. I was like, damn, this traffic is already bad. But so I got used to that. But, I got to the team hotel. And then when I stepped in the facility, and that's where I see a lot of, older guys and all these coaches like Coach Mike McDaniels that I used to see on TV. Now that I, get to be under them, and it's an honor and it's a privilege, and it's a blessing just being here. So it's fun.
You trying to live on the beach, near the beach, or out west, closer to you?
As of right now, that's not really my focus right now. That's not what I'm really looking to right now. It's just I'm at the hotel, and I'm really focusing on working and just again, I'm a rookie. I'm still trying to prove myself, and just getting to know the playbook, how to do things here. So that's really my main focus.
I feel like a lot of players in the league over the years that wrestle have had good success. How do you think wrestling kind of is portable over to playing defensive line? What did you learn from that experience?
Well, in wrestling, one point of emphasis that was taught to me in high school is leverage. And so when you wrestle, you quickly find out where to grab a man, the elbow controls the body, you know what I'm saying, and the tricep does also. So just all about leverage and, just understanding the human body. So and that's what wrestling taught me.
Like the technique is applicable from both sides.
100%. Yes, sir.
One thing that really stood out when Chris and Mike were talking about you is they love your work ethic. Because anytime they checked in on you, the person was like, oh, he's probably in the weight room, he's probably in the film room doing this and that. How much pride do you take into the work you put into your craft?
Yeah, I take a lot of pride in it. I mean, obviously, preparation is the key to success. And so I always make sure that I'm preparing the right way. And a part of preparing is working out, taking care of your body and just doing those little things. And I, do the best of my ability to do those things consistently.
How much interaction have you been able to have with not just your rookie teammates, but the vets that are
Yeah, obviously, the vets are around the building. Chop Robinson, he played at Maryland, transferred to Penn State. Got a chance to talk to him. And, so I'm continuing to learn everybody and just come to work.
And road like this.
You good.
Try not to do that. But there's a culture change underway here. Is that the sense that you've gotten just from being around the building these past couple, days now?
Absolutely. The expectation around here is high. Everybody's always smiling, and everybody comes every day ready to work. And, we all hold each other to a high standard.
Jordan, you talked about being like a student of other defensive tackles before you. How familiar are you with Randy Starks, who once played here, also played at the University of Maryland?
Absolutely. Talented player, physical guy. And, like I say, I'm really excited to just come here and work and learn as much as I can.
You were also wearing 94 for a while.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you familiar with that?
Yes, sir.
Did you make a request to get that number, or just?
Really, it was mutual. It was. Yes, sir.
Was this the first time you put the jersey on today?
Oh, yes, what? Yes, sir. It was. No, it was pretty good, I take a lot of pride in wearing a Dolphin jersey, any jersey for that matter. And so anytime I have a jersey on and outside the jersey, I try to represent myself the best way as possible.
What's your goal today? What are you trying to get accomplished this weekend here at rookie minicamp?
Just to improve, each rep, each day, my plan is to improve.
Looked up to as far as local guys that kind of led the way for you to be a pro. So, kind of taking advice from.
Honestly, we haven't met, like a bunch of the guys that's here already yet. Just mainly a lot of rookies, but just trying to communicate with them, learn the playbook, and then once that time comes, when I'm able to learn the guys that's here already, just come in and be close to them. So.
What's been the biggest challenge for you, just for adjusting from college to pro level now that you're here?
Honestly, I wouldn't say it's a big change off of anything like that. Probably like the speed of the game and also having more knowledge of the game. So probably those two. It's been crazy, especially coming from the combine, draft, all that. It's been crazy. But as far as right now, just settling in, learning the playbook, getting to know some of the rookies here. That's pretty much it. Just settling down.
Has it been a whirlwind, like a lot to handle all at once, or is it sort of been incremental over the last few weeks?
Very incremental. Last few weeks, coaches here now trying to break it down, so we can learn it the best. That's pretty much it. So.
How would you describe your game?
Very hard-nosed guy. Coming up to the line with my size, ready to press, ready to work. So yeah.
Have you met the other rookie cornerbacks, and did you ever cross paths being in the central part of the state with BJ, UCF, Florida?
Well, I know we played against him this past year. I didn't know too much of him, but today, since we've been here, we had a few conversations, especially when we played him, and then just trying to get together and learn the playbook. So that's the biggest thing.
Jason, have you had a moment yet where it's hit you that
I would say the second day after the draft, and then obviously now, especially walking in the buildings, wearing the NFL logo, wearing the Dolphins logo, so definitely now.
Dante, as you embark on your NFL life, which is, with everything is new, how much does it help, or how cool is it that you have somebody here who you played in college with?
Chop? Oh yeah, I already talked to him. I said I don't care if you're the same age. You're gonna help me and figure this whole thing out because I don't know anything. I'm a sponge, so I'm gonna be under his wing, under any vet. So that's the biggest plan is get a vet. Just be a rookie, shut up and work. That's my mindset right now.
What was it you referenced? What was the nickname you used? I'm sorry.
Chop.
Okay, Chop.
Yeah, Chop.
Oh, you played with Chop?
Yeah, I played with Chop. Yeah.
You
Oh, you talking about Jordan? Oh, Jordan.
You
Oh,
got 4 of them now.
that too. So we've already been every night. So we already got a plan together that we're gonna go over stuff. He's teaching me the fronts and things like that, and we're just watching, just being in the film room together, just learning the new NFL process.
What has Chop told you about the biggest transition, biggest adjustment?
The speed of the game and the playbook. You know what I'm saying? Like again, I haven't played at this level. I have no experience, so I'm back at the bottom. It's not college anymore, so you got to throw out the college and come in, be ready to work and learn from the vets.
Dante, Mike Loxley spoke to one of our colleagues here, I think Marcel's around here somewhere, about how you and Jordan are pro-ready guys and really going to be good professionals. I'm curious what he means by that, like in terms of how you go about your preparation. Like, what does a weekend preparation look like?
I would say the pursuit of being a pro. I'm just starting to be a pro, so you just embodying some of the things that his old pros have done. So just, taking care of your body. And there's only one person that ever came in the building before me. It was Jordan Phillips. Like, he already had a workout by 5:30. I'm walking in 6:30 to the film room. I can hear the music blasting. But, it really starts on Sundays. We both coming in there watching we're all tape, and then Monday through Friday we're always self-scouting more than anything, to understand how we can get better, but also on top of that, diving into X and O's of our opponents.
How is the communication for that aspect of your game been with the Dolphins brass? Did you talk about that pre-draft? Did you talk with them at all, or after you got drafted? Has there been conversation about that in terms of how you can apply that as a pro?
Same thing. So like every combine visit, you get to talk to the coaches, but I talk to the special team coordinator and the assistants and Coach Lowe. Just having the ability to bounce some things off on what are things I'm going to be able to do and translate, and just build a plan of what I can keep up. It's all about consistency. I can say, hey, I'm going to wake up 4 a.m., but if I can't sustain that for however many years I'm in the league, then it's not going to work and I'm not going to pan out. So just really building a plan with Coach Lowe.
You've only been here for a short while, but was there a moment ever this morning or last night or wherever where the reality of you being in the NFL hit you?
I mean, just stepping into the team meeting room when Coach Alt came in here with intensity, or Coach Mike was just blasting music. I was like, yeah, I'm really here. Like, I'm really here in one of the seats. So it's a privilege to be in those seats. And the day I take it for granted is the day I'll be out the league in a hurry. So I'm just trying to take advantage of every day and get 1% better.
What's this experience like, and when did you realize that you're officially in the NFL?
It took some time to realize that. I feel like once I got here and got to see everybody, saw the facility, I was like, okay, this for real, But I feel like it's been great. Miami's been great to me. And, I just can't wait till next week to meet the rest of my team and get to mingle with everybody and see how that goes.
What's the process like now? I know you haven't stepped on the field yet, but just getting used to the heat, humidity, and the playbook.
I would just say, it's a little bit more than college, but, it's only day 2. We got a long time with this. And like I said, get to talk to some of the vets and, work with them and see how they do it. And, you can never stop learning. So I feel like I can learn a lot from the vets on this team, and that'll be huge.
Why 31?
I kind of got stuck with it, but I'm not complaining. But I would just say once I got it, I thought about it. It was like, the Dolphins went out and chose me, and there's 32 teams in the NFL, and 31 teams passed on me, so why not use it?
Is there a moment this week where it kind of hit you that I'm an NFL player now?
I think kind of when I landed in Miami, actually, and had my suitcases filled to the brim, that's when I realized, like, this for real.
How many suitcases you bring?
2.
Just 2?
Yeah, just for a little bit. I can go back and get some more stuff out there. Just for camp.
You played at Oklahoma State, obviously. Have you ever had any experience with what kind of weather you're going to be dealing with here throughout the spring, the summer, into the early autumn?
I would say, actually, yeah. Summers in Oklahoma get really hot, and we'll have summer ball out there, and the ground will be real hot. And we also played a game at Arizona State, so yeah, we played Arizona State probably 2 years ago, and it was hot. So it was
Like September.
yeah, beginning of the season. Yeah, it was crazy.
That's oven hot. This is steamy hot.
My freshman year, they tell you get there early. I'm excited, so it's like August game. I get there 2 hours before.
Gonna pass out. Yeah, about to pass out. It was horrible.
What excites you the most about coming into an August like this?
I was just saying, Coach Mike knows how to use his players, and I'm just ready to be a part of that, be able to help the team any way I can. Like I said, even if that's playing special teams, or just to be there and just to see what's going on. Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill, running all over the field. So, I feel like it'd be huge to see.
Ollie, I feel like a lot's made of your pass protection, but you also have some pretty good receiving tape out there. I'm curious, what are some things you did to make yourself into a 3-down player in terms of the receiving game as well?
I would say, just back in Oklahoma State, before practice, we lived heavy on the jugs, probably catching 100 balls a day, and I felt like that was huge. So I feel like that's what really helped, honestly.
Does it help playing in a kind of passing style offense, spread out style offense in college?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yes, sir.
Would you consider yourself the steal of the draft?
I'm gonna say yeah, but nah. We can let the people decide that one. Honestly, I'm just here to play ball.
When you slid to that far into the third day, what was your thought process like?
It was really just finding, where home was, honestly. Just seeing where it was. I wasn't really worried about where I was going to go. It was just about winning, honestly.
Ollie, you also spoke about not skipping out like on the bowl season, the end of the season, your final year at the Oklahoma State.
Mm-hmm.
That decision, like, why is it so important for you to kind of fulfill, I guess, a commitment like that?
I mean, because it was only my 3rd year. Why wouldn't I play with them? And they're my teammates. I love them. I love those guys, and they're great people. So why would I do that to them? That's not me. That's not in me.
Ollie, sorry if you've been asked this, but you're in a crowded running back room with H.N. and Jalen Wright, Alexander Madison, the short yardage guy. What do you feel about your chances of being impactful as a rookie?
Really just taking some pointers from them, honestly. All of them, they all play different. And, just to learn from them and see how they do it, I feel like it'll be huge. So we can see how it works from there. I don't decide anything. That'll be decided by everybody else, so we'll see.
Your style should play very well in this offense. And, being the physical guy, you're kind of a combination of everything they have. Have you thought about that at all, or how your game would translate out here?
Not really. I really haven't thought about that. Honestly, it's just about getting in the playbook right now, learning to play. So when that time comes, I'm comfortable to get out there and play.
What's the transition been like? Because pre-draft, it seemed to be physical focus, right? Like how do I lift more, run faster, cut faster, and now you can switch into learning your actual role, actual job in the offense. What's that transition been like from training to essentially studying?
I would say it's been a little different. Normally, training more physical than studying is. So it's like, I got to sit here and study. But, when if you want to get on that field, you're going to do the studying. So it's definitely time to sit down and chill and study for sure.
How would you describe the feeling of signing that first NFL contract?
It felt good. I was happy. I was cheesing. My smile was ear to ear.
It's easy to pick up from talking to you that you have personality. What kind of locker room guy would you describe yourself as?
I feel like I'm the walk around the locker room, talk to everybody, make sure everybody having a good day type of guy in the locker room. So.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ollie.
I got one more. How will you assess a successful rookie camp?
I'll just say being able to get the playbook down, not having any mess ups off of that, and just having a positive, camp, honestly.
Yeah, it's been good. Just like you said, getting ready for minicamp, and obviously I'm continuing on the journey of my career, and it's been exciting. It's been a dream come true for me since I was a little kid. Since I picked up a football, I always wanted to play in the NFL, and it's not a better place to begin the journey.
An offense that's had a lot of success over the last few years, being able to learn and cultivate your skills with this group. What does that mean?
Yeah, I mean, just like you said, they've been there, they've done that, they've succeeded at the highest level in our game, in our profession. So it's exciting. There's really no other words to describe it. It's just exciting, and to learn from all these veterans.
Quinn, what was this coaching staff's message to you as you started it's abbreviated camp for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, just take advantage of every opportunity, because there's a lot of guys out there right now, and everyone's fighting for the same job, and we're all competitive, but it's cool at the same time, just because these guys are at the end of the day, some of these guys are going to end up being teammates with us, and but you gotta earn the job and earn the trust of those guys as well. So it's been cool.
When you come in with kind of a chip on your shoulder to kind of prove yourself, or what's kind of your mentality?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I didn't expect to fall as low as I did, but circumstances being, it is what it is at the end of the day, and I have the same opportunity as everybody else does, and I'm beyond thankful for that, and I just want to go in there and play my game at the end of the day and learn and develop as a quarterback.
Quinn, Zach Wilson is here behind Tua. Do you have designs on being the number 2 quarterback, or what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I'm just going to try to go out there and play my game every day and just focus on myself and what I can do to help the team win and what I can do to help make the team better, no matter what my positioning is. I have not.
Quinn, coming from a program like Texas that's under the spotlight as much as it is, does that make the transition to the NFL a little easier for you think?
I think so, for sure. Austin has a lot of fans, and at the end of the day, I think it's the closest thing to a pro program in college that you can get, on all levels, in all sectors, whether it be meeting with media or, the way that we prepare throughout the week and the way that the game day atmosphere is. And, there's no doubt that it's definitely one of the best, if not the best, college run that prepares you for the NFL.
Has there been anything that surprised you since coming here to Miami?
I mean, it's still early. Still got some time to be surprised, I guess. But, I mean, I guess how welcoming everybody is, and just how, everybody that I've talked to, just how, like I said, welcoming. I mean, it's it's not a hostile environment. You know, leaving college, going to the NFL, I bet some places are a little hostile just because, you know, you're bringing in rookies and, you know, they're looking to earn a job, and these older guys are looking to keep a job. But it's been cool to get to talk with them.
What are some of the things you're looking to accomplish during rookie minicamp?
Well, I guess learn the playbook better and continue to, you know, execute the plays and, you know, remain present in every play, you know, one rep at a time, but and have a good time and, you know, lead these guys, and because right now it's my responsibility to lead all these rookies on, and, you know, it's my opportunity to go get noticed at the end of the day, and I'm going to try to go do that.
Man, how different do you think this experience will be? Because you've been at the top of the food chain everywhere you've been, I'm sure your whole football playing career. How different do you think that this could be?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be different. Like you said, I've never really been in the position that I'm in, but I don't think it's a bad thing at all. I'm honestly excited for it, to learn and develop as a player, and I think it's only going to benefit me in the long run.
So how does it feel to finally be here amongst, you know, the rest of the rookies?
It feels great. Really excited to be here, ready to get to work, and just taking that all in every day. So.
Yeah, what has been some of the advice that you've gotten from the guys here?
Really just take it one day at a time. Don't overthink anything. You're here for a reason. There's a million people in the world trying to get to this position. So just take it with a grain of salt and come in and work and ready to work every day.
Yeah. Thinking ahead to that 17-game schedule, how do you feel like you're going to be able to prepare mentally and physically for it?
I feel like I'm going to be pretty well with that. I've always been a guy to take care of my body and do the things that's needed. So massages, cold tub, hot tub, or just anything of that nature. So I definitely feel like I'll be able to get through the season.
Yeah. Have you felt any surprises since coming here yet? Like, wow, I'm really here.
Yeah, just walking in, seeing my name on the locker and seeing my jersey and everything was kind of just crazy. So just being able to see that, and I had to take a picture of it. So there's always a memory I always have. So yeah, definitely.
What's your early impression of KG, and what do you think this trio of rookie drafted D-linemen?
I feel like this is some of the best D tackles in the nation right here. So we're gonna come in and work. And KG and Jordan, great guys. We already did walkthroughs and stuff. Just seeing how they communicate and just the bond we already had. It felt like we knew each other already, just the way we communicate on the field. So it's been pretty good.